have a nice shaped head. At least you won't look weird when you lose your hair during chemo. Oh, you have multiple sclerosis. Oh, you'll be in a wheelchair by 40. You're like 20. You got 20 years. You'll be fine. Breast cancer. Well, it's a good kind of cancer. They got a whole month for it. At least it could be one of the other cancers, but it's breast. That's the good one. If I had to go through half of the things you've been through, I think I'd kill myself. Don't do chemo. I know someone who did it, and they lost their hair, their fingernails, their teeth. Don't you put that poison in your body. I'm serious. There's something else that we can do. I'm going to look at one of those natural things that I help my friend with. Don't do chemo, though. My sister died of that. Oh, my God. To see her go through that, it was the worst thing I ever experienced. But, I mean, you're going to be fine. But for her, it was the worst. I wish I were joking, but those are real-life examples of things that were said to me while I was going through one of the worst periods of my life, or several of the worst periods of my life. And I'm here to ask you, are your words a lifeline or a loaded gun? Because words have the power to heal, but they also have the power to kill. Now, as you heard in some of my examples, I'm no stranger to tough stuff. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at 25. I lost my second baby at almost 20 weeks pregnant, followed 1 month later by a stage 2B breast cancer diagnosis that required 16 rounds of red devil chemo. And yes, it is as intense as it sounds. I called it blood of Jesus to make myself feel better. Surgery and 33 rounds of radiation. And it sucked. And during that time, there were a lot of people who came into my life and wanted to find a way to silver line my suck, right? That's what we do. When someone's going through something tough, we want to make them feel better. And we use our words, right? The first thing that comes to mind, we want to say. But words that are spoken when somebody's at their lowest cannot be taken back. And the consequences that can be felt from them are there to stay for better or for worse. Are your words a lifeline or a loaded gun? Now, I had a friend of the family, and you hear me saying things like loaded gun and killing and things that are real extreme, and I'm doing that on purpose because I want to drive home the point that this is serious stuff that we're talking about. I had a friend of the family who had the same diagnosis as me about a year before mine, and had a similar treatment plan with the chemo and the surgery and the radiation. And she chose not to fight. This is not at all a judgment of her. My question is why? Did she hear some of the things that I heard, that I told you that I heard when I was diagnosed from people who were well-meaning and wanted to tell me about their experiences? The chemo that we see on TV with people throwing up, which is your grandmother's chemo, and for some it is a reality. But when somebody is trying to get their mind right to fight, do you think those are the words that they need to hear? What was said to her that made her say, no, I can't do this? Her family found her dead in her shower. And her daughter to this day is left wondering what she could have done that would make mom feel she could have done it. Are your words a lifeline or a loaded gun? Or maybe it's my other breastie, that's what we call it in the breast cancer world, somebody else is like you, they're breastie, who did exactly what she was supposed to do. She felt a lump. She went to the doctor, and she said, hey, doc, I feel something. The doctor said, you know what? I feel it too. I'm going to order an ultrasound, first a mammogram, then an ultrasound, and then we need a biopsy. Oh, no. I can't do a biopsy, she said through tears. I'm deathly afraid of needles. She went to her husband and her family in tears. They want a biopsy. Calm down. he told her. You're going to be okay. We're going to pray about it. Just wait. Well, we're going to take a step, and we're going to wait and see what happens. Don't get upset. And she was relieved. The person she loved most told her it was going to be okay. And as the tumor in her breast grew for the next year and then grew over into her chest wall, she finally got the strength to push past the internal and external noise and get that biopsy that was ordered a year before. She was found to be in the later stages of the disease. And she died last November at 36 years old. Are your words a lifeline or a loaded gun? So now that I've sufficiently made everybody paranoid that they're going to say something that's going to cause something to happen, I want to remind you that most people are well-meaning, right? We don't want to hurt. When we are doing silver linings, it's from a place of wanting to provide optimism, a way out. How can I get you to see the bright side of things? But rarely are words the things that we actually need during that time, right? When we are trying to find ways to move forward and to find a way to fight, we need a lifeline. But I like to give this analogy. Let's see if it'll go. Imagine you're drowning in the water, right? You got your hands up. You're saying, Lord, help me. I can't swim. I need somebody to save me. You're being very dramatic because you know it really sucks to drown, right? And you got people who are on the shore, and they're seeing you drown. You want to know what a silver lining is? Silver lining is looking at that person and saying, look at you trying to swim. I'm so proud of you. You keep on kicking. You're not going to drown. I know somebody who drowned last year, who was drowning last year, and she didn't drown. You won't either. Keep going. What is that doing for that person? Absolutely nothing, right? That person needs an actual life raft to be thrown their way. Because even the words that are said could cause them to say, you know what, forget it. I'm not fighting anymore. That's absolutely enough. We want to be that lifeline with our words, and also, but more so, with our actions. And so I want to tell you a little bit about how we do that, right? Because I know that every single person who is watching and hears my voice wants to be the one that helps somebody through the tough time. We don't want to injure. So I'm going to tell you what my sucks needed, because as you see, I've had plenty of them. So I feel qualified to speak on this. I'm going to tell you what my sucks need. First thing my suck needs, and I say this with all love, please shut up. Shut up. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. This is not rocket science. If you are not a doctor, don't pretend to be. Don't give medical advice. This is not Grey's Anatomy. I don't need you to try to tell me how great something's going to be when you really don't know. And really, it's actually okay for you to say something, and this is a novel idea. It's okay for you to say, I don't know what to say. This really is hard, but I'm here. That's a lifeline. Stopping, staying with someone, acknowledging the pain, and saying, I'm here. And after you shut up, my suck needs you to show up. Showing up, this is where you go and buy that $5 rotisserie chicken that's more like $25 in this economy, right? And then put it on the doorstep. Get them a gas card, because you know that if they're going to have to go to appointments or things, that's really helpful. If they have kids, I'm going to babysit so you can get a nap, or don't have to go to the appointments and wrestle with little ones. But honestly, this isn't the time to really kind of overwhelm them with, what do you need, right? What do you want me to do? How can I help you? A lot of times we don't know. When you're going through a lot of stuff and you're making a lot of decisions, you don't know what you need. What I need for you to do is just act. No one's going to be upset with you coming and saying, I'm sitting here. Whatever you need, I'm here, right? Shut up. Show up. And then my suck needs you to stay. And this one meant more to me than any of the other things that was ever done. When I needed that, what was a lifeline to me were the people who stayed. And we know people who know how to stay at the beginning. All of you all can recall a time where someone may have passed away, or you got an illness, or you were sick, and what happened? You got 18 casseroles in your refrigerator. Your phone will not stop ringing, and we appreciate that. We love that. But what we really need is to remember that sucks don't have timelines. It's not just at the beginning that it matters. A suck could go on for a month, 2 months, a year, 2 years. I went through chemo for a year and then had radiation, and I'm still right now going through the after effects, the PTSD part. But you know what matters are the people who are checking in on me now and saying, how are you really today? I know it's been some time. I remember that diagnosis. It's been an anniversary for you. I'm still here. I still care. That's a lifeline. Shut up. Show up. Stay. And I'll leave you with this. Words that are spoken when people are at their lowest mean a lot. And they cannot be taken back for better or for worse. So when you find yourself wanting to speak to somebody who's going through something hard, I urge you to say less. God bless. Because your silence can save a life. Thank you.